had finished watching Salinger, the documentary about J.D. Salinger, of course, who wrote Catcher in the Rye. And first off, I have to admit, I've sold many, many copies of The Catcher in the Rye, but I have never read it. I really don't know. Maybe someday I'll decide to read it. But when I heard that they did a biography, documentary movie of his life, I felt compelled to check it out. I do not know if this movie is going to be readily available for everyone to watch. I did find it on Netflix, and it's not on DVD. It was an instant streaming thing. So if you're interested in watching this for yourself, if you get Netflix, you can check it out there. Watching this documentary about J.D. Salinger, I really didn't know too much about him. And most people, when they talk about him on BookTube, make it sound like he only wrote like 2 books. This guy had written like tons of short stories from like the 40s till like when he died in like 2000. I think he died in 2010, they said. But I just thought it was kind of peculiar because a lot of the people were like, they seemed to idolize J.D. Salinger all because of Catcher in the Rye. Yet again, I have not read it, so I don't know what all the hype is about. But I guess this book is so popular and it has sold so many copies that, yeah, this guy made a deal with whoever publishes it that no film can be made of The Catcher in Rye until 2015. Plus, another interesting factoid I found out about watching this documentary is that there's going to be more Holden Caulfield stories coming out that will be released in 2015 and 2020. So, by that time, I hope maybe I'll have read The Catcher in the Rye and see what all the big deal is. This guy seemed pretty weird. Like, he was like kind of like a hermit. Like, he lived off someplace in Vermont or New Hampshire. I wasn't really paying attention too much to the little details because, like, I'm not a super fan. I've never read the book. But I thought it was kind of interesting that he lived like a hermit and nobody had his phone number. They said that the way people like stalked this guy, they like would catch him going to the post office because he'd come into town or whatever to pick up his mail every once in a while from a P.O. box. And he just sounds like a creeper because, like, this guy would go after, like, really young, like, teenage girls, and he had many different relationships with these young girls throughout his life, and it was just really strange. I mean, and then he had people stalk him because they thought he was, like, Buddha or something, and he knew all the answers to their life's questions because they had read his book and they got something out of it. And I guess J.D. Salinger tried to tell them, you know, hey, I'm a fiction writer. I'm not like a counselor or a self-help guru. You really need to go someplace else. And he thought a lot of these people were fucking crazy because the way they would approach him, like they would stalk him like at the end of his driveway, or they would leave him notes and stuff on his door and stuff like that. I don't blame him. I mean, I guess that he became so popular from The Catcher in the Rye that he felt like he had to seclude himself from the rest of the world. But I basically wanted to just throw out this video real quick to let you guys know about the documentary if you guys are interested in seeing it, where you can find it. As far as I know, Netflix seems to be the only place that has it. It's not available on DVD or Blu-ray. So, yeah, that's just the gist of it. And questions, comments down below if you've seen it, you know, let me know. I mean, I heard other people on BookTube talking about it. Not too many people, but a few people. So let me know what your thoughts on it were if you've seen it. Alright, till next time. Later, guys.